Tony's Topics. Tony's Topics. What's happening? Welcome to Tony's Topics. My name's Tony, and let's get into my topics. We're talking about the NBA again. We're continuing off of last night's games. So, Golden State, they're currently leading the West, I believe, or no, that's the Grizzlies. Either way it goes, they're the runner-up, and they're looking really good right now. But I was looking back at who Golden State has beaten up until this point, and making no doubt, they've got two guys who are top 10 scorers in the league right now between Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. So that's typically a sign of greatness, typically a sign that you'll make it to the Final Four, maybe even win the whole thing. But the bottom line is, I look back at who Golden State has actually beat up until this point, and they've been beating the peripheral teams, but they really haven't taken down any real monsters yet. Honestly, it's not just a win, it's who you win against. It's not just, a win, it's who you beat. So, until you start ripping up teams like the Spurs or, the Clippers once they get it together, I don't know what it is with this NBA season. And let me divulge for a minute or get off the topic for a minute. This NBA season is strange. Like, number one, and it's early. It's only the first month of the NBA, so I'm going to write it off to that. But all I'm saying is, number one, last year the scoring champion, Kevin Durant, was averaging 30 points a game. But this year the current scoring champion is Kobe Bryant, and he's only averaging 26. Okay, so, normally, like, the top guy's 30, the next guy's, like, 28, another guy at, like, 27, somebody at 26, and maybe somebody at 25. This year, the top guy right now is only averaging 26 points per game. So, LeBron is actually is about where he normally is. Whatever. So, that's just kind of a thing to start. But, again, it's only 1 month into the season. 1 month into, what, a 6-month season? So, we've got plenty of basketball to come. Okay, so Golden State. Yeah, they've come off to a hot start. It's looking like they're amazing. And I'm really amazed that they're doing this all without David Lee. Really? Wow. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry really are putting it down. But we'll see how long this lasts, especially when they have to go against, a real team like the Spurs or Portland. And the other great teams out there. Okay, so let's see. Next up, the Pelicans. Yeah, without a backcourt, I really don't expect much more than the Pelicans doing what they do. Yes, they've got two great guys underneath. Anthony Davis, probably going to catch that MVP or not because his team's not winning. And, Omar Ashik. Honestly, the Pelicans need to start thinking about making a trade. Making a trade to fix up that backcourt immediately if they really want to have a chance this year. Okay. Milwaukee and Detroit, who cares? Dallas beating Toronto. That was really interesting, right? Because here's Toronto, basically having the best record in the East, and all of a sudden they get beat by Dallas. Peripheral third-tier Dallas. And I call them third-tier, as in, there are plenty of mediocre teams that can't break 500. Then there are the average teams right at 500. Now there's your third-tier teams that'll pretty much win about 60% of their games in the season. Yeah, or I won't even go so far as to say as high as 60%. But let's just say they're good. They're better than good teams. Like last year the Suns were good. Okay? The third-tier teams, they're better than that. But they're not as good as like a second-tier team like a Houston Rockets or a Portland Trailblazers, and they certainly don't need to be in the rarefied era of the Spurs or OKC with Durant or the Clippers last year or the Miami Heat last year or the Pacers last year. They're just they're like the worst of the best. Okay, and so basically, honestly, I really don't see the Mavericks changing up all that much. Granted, they got a guy in, they got Chandler Parsons in, but they lost Tyson Chandler, who is clearly, they picked up Tyson Chandler. So, they got some guys, they lost some guys. Honestly, maybe it's a small net game, but I really don't see the Dallas Mavericks being that much better. And proven in their division, they're like, what, fourth in their own little division, Not in the East, just in whatever they're in. The Central or whatever that is, they're like the fourth best team out there. So, when you see the Raptors lose to the fourth best team in their division, it really kind of puts the Raptors in a contrast of where they are. Yeah, you're a great, nice team. You've got some good things going. I couldn't believe DeMar DeRozan didn't score 1 point. Wow. Wow. So, we'll see how it all pans out for these guys in the long run. But, honestly, I'd almost say they're the opposite of the Pelicans. They need to get a front court together. Really, they need to get some guys who can really smash underneath. Because, their back court is together. Now you need a power forward or a center that can really freak people out. That's my time, and that's my topics.